Hello, everybody. Welcome to a bonus episode of the Headspace Podcast, the show where we check out new hip hop albums track by track and give our thoughts and opinions on every single one of them. And today we will be speaking about, and I hope I say this right, Jean Deaux's EP or album, Empathy. Not really sure anymore what the difference between an EP and an album is. Anyway, my name is Holden Stephan Roy, or HSR, and I'll be walking you through this album today, and I look forward to having that little discussion with you. So I want to let you know at the beginning, as I do the intro bit, which you can skip by checking the description of the video, that I don't really consider myself a professional by any means. I'm just somebody that started reviewing albums one day, and week over week I listen to the new music, and sometimes I like to step out of my comfort zone and expose myself to stuff that I normally really wouldn't listen to, which is what is happening here today. So if you are watching this and you have any feedback or any comments or anything like that you feel you want to leave me to enhance this review or to teach me something, because the way I see it, we can all teach each other shit, well, then feel free to leave a comment. I also dig trivia, as you'll see shortly. And I really just look forward to talking to you. If you make the effort to leave a comment, I'll make that effort to answer you. And I like to read a favorite comment that we get in the last little bit. So on the Bjork Homogenic review that I did, we have Florian J saying, "Since you asked for trivia, here we go. She asked RZA to make the drums for Bachelorette, but he couldn't come to Spain where the song was recorded. She ended up finishing the song, but RZA and her did end up making a remix of the song. Also, 5 Years is rumored to be about Tricky, who I have recommended before. They were in a relationship for a little bit after they made Enjoy and Headphones for the Post album." Which is just really cool, because that's the kind of stuff that maybe I wouldn't have thought to Google, like who Bjork was in a relationship or any of that good stuff, or the impact on the music, because often I'll listen to the albums, like in this case, well, just before we get to that, special thanks to the patrons, Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prado, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black Hurricane, and Lindale Williams. I like to shout them out at the beginning, but we'll talk a bit about it at the end. And now we'll get into reviewing the Jean Deaux album, Empathy. So I want to start it off just kind of describing why I chose to do this album and my connection to Jean Deaux, because I think it's super important, like for those, like, because it matters in terms of how you perceive the album. So if you're somebody who's been a long time fan and you've been listening to her for a couple of years or whatever, and you're feeling this and you've been like waiting for this shit to drop, you're going to feel totally different maybe than, say, me, who discovered who she was when I was looking at what albums came out, and Hip Hop DX, the website, said she was the only hip hop person dropping a project this week. It wasn't necessarily the case. It was just the only one listed on Hip Hop DX. So I checked it out, and I'm like, in our recent efforts to try to cover more women on this channel, I was like, let's try this out. Let's see what's going on. It was this or Ritz's re-release of a bunch of shit off of White Jesus, so I thought this would be a lot more interesting personally. I've never heard of her before. As I understand it, she's from Chicago, and she does R&B, hip-hop singing stuff. I have really only listened to this project and kind of skimmed through a couple of the other songs so that she has on Spotify, so all things considered, I'm really new to her, and I just want to say that the overall sound and vibe that she's putting out is not something that's 100% what I would normally listen to. So for me, I came at this with an open mind, and I was just kind of curious to hear what she had to say and what kind of sound she was going to produce on this. So with that, I don't want to waste your time. I love the album title. It's called Empathy. Empathy is such an interesting concept because we live in a society where everyone's so sympathetic. Everyone goes out of their way to try to like feel almost irrationally like what everyone else is feeling, and like if somebody's sad, you have to be sad with them, and it's almost like sympathy creates this kind of solidarity of emotions, but often it has a bunch of people talking, we'll say. So a big part of sympathy might be like if you're having an issue, me feeling the need to agree with your issue or to connect with you in some way over your issue, like almost in a direct sense. Whereas empathy, and I might be wrong about this is just how I understand the terms, but empathy is a lot more about understanding. So it's not so much about like feeling what the other person is feeling, but it's like listening and appreciating what that person is going through from a position of just like understanding, and like through that person's experience connecting to like almost just solely what that other person is saying and like finding a way to put yourself into their shoes. So it's not as much about your experiences connecting with them, it's about you appreciating that other person's experiences. At least that's how I understand it. I hope that wasn't a terrible explanation, but just having a title like Empathy makes me want to understand what she's understanding. It makes me want to almost empathize with her because she chose to use that like terminology. And then on the cover, I'm not gonna lie, I like her blue hair. It's fucking fire. And she's on a horse, and that immediately made me think of Lil Nas X, and he's riding on a horse, and she's riding on a horse. I like the bluish sky in the background. It's really like a nice to look at cover, and she's got like this mysterious look in her eyes, like she's riding on through, and it's gonna be a wild time. You know, there's something like fun about it, like mysterious, but she's super serious at the same time. I don't know. I have a lot more to comment on the cover. What do you guys think of it? I think it looks really nice, and it works well, again, in this modern era of being something that is easily identifiable when it's small, because you'd be looking for like the cover where she has blue hair on a horse, and you could see that when it's like this fucking big. And it's kind of sad how album covers can't really do what they used to do just because they're so much smaller. I'm fascinated by like things like that. Anyway, the first song on this album is called It's Whatever. I think immediately I'm struck by how cool this beat is. I'm not sure if she makes the instrumentals or if she works with people, but holy fuck, it was just this like encompassing experience where it's all like spacey and kind of like this vibe driven thing where it's not 100% like a sound I would go to per se, but let's say I was trying to, you know, in the environment of a lady, create a certain feel, like a laid back, relaxed, almost ethereal experience. I think this really hits that goal. Like, I really found it pleasant to just let this song like coast. Like, let's say you're trying to do something a little bit stressful and you need something like easy to listen to that you can just kind of vibe in, that isn't necessarily going to be as politically charged or challenging as some of the shit I might like to jump on in those moments. This is fucking nice. I thought it was cool, but lyrically it was also interesting because like she comes in singing in like this almost subdued ways. I'll be honest, the way it's mixed, it's almost like the emphasis is not necessarily on her singing. Like it sounds great, but like it's almost like there's a vibe surrounding her, and like you kind of have to like really actually listen to like make out what she's saying. Like there are definitely parts of this project where I had no idea what the fuck words were coming out of her mouth, and not because she's not clear, but it's almost like in the artsy way she delivers it, it was such a deliberate thing. I don't know if it's on this song per se, but at least somewhere on this project. We'll talk about that a little bit. But I was enthralled with just like the perspective, right? Because as a guy who listens to a lot of music by men and reads a lot of shit by men and whatnot, it's always good to honestly take some time and hear maybe what a woman wants to feel in a certain way. And I feel like that's what this project and this song started me off. I'm like, I never would have thought about it like that, you know? She's saying, I know that you excited. He thinks I'm hyping, his diamonds blinded. And right off the way, it's like, this is what she's feeling when dude's flossing up with the diamonds and whatnot, and he keep open doors, a door letting light in, you with the flash, let's learn to like it. And it's almost like they both, like he's flossing in his way, but she takes like power in her beauty and her essence and how she belongs almost in that environment, in that world. And it's like, let's learn to like it. Has the sense where maybe it's like new, or it's mysterious, or it's not really the normal for anybody involved in it, but it's like a fun and exciting and new thing. And she has like this softness to the way she sings it, where it doesn't come off like this arrogance or this cockiness, but almost like a curiosity through it. And I really appreciate it. Like there's honesty in this music, and I think that is something that I find really important when you're dealing with shit like, I guess, love or dating or things like that. And then she's like, I got it, I spelled out leave you open and bounded, maybe I sound foreign because I'm smoking exotic, he got so fucking excited, hey. And it's like, that magical bond between people as they're meeting, and it's exciting. And again, like I said, she has her value, and in a sense he's got his stuff. But instead of it just being like this baller dude flossing per se or whatever, or some vapid romantic shit, it's like she's like, I'm a proud woman and you better value me, motherfucker. And it's kind of fun. I really like the energy she's putting off here. I think it's got like this confidence to it that I found super attractive. No, don't ride in 4 doors, keep it pull up. I can't endorse, want it slow, got it engorged. You calling me demons, but I know you want more, is the second verse of this. And it's almost like, when she said got it engorged, I couldn't help but picture an engorged erect penis. And that, want it slow or whatever, more of like a sexualized situation. And, almost like the way she has him a little bit going crazy inside because she's quite so attractive, or she's that very interesting. And that possession, because her aura is like infecting him, she's calling him demons, but he really loves it, which I can say I've been the dude in that moment, and that's a good feeling. It's a good time right there. And then, the chorus is cool. It's fine. I don't have a lot to really comment on it, but it does have like, it's whatever on me, keep whatever, homie. It's like this like nonchalance to the whole dating situation. Like maybe this is like a regular day, or maybe all sorts of guys are treating her this way, and it's kind of like they're just players in this bigger game. So she's kind of just gotten used to the situation. I don't know, maybe I'm misreading it. I know what got your eyes. I squeeze your spine, no lemon lime. You can't get rid of me. I'm in your diet. Why are you mine and now you're mine? And I love the power that it's being shown. Like, she recognizes that this dude, whoever he is, or maybe series of dudes, is completely enamored with her sexuality and her power. And I find that really cool. Like, she's just owning it in this like swagged out, smooth delivery where you really kind of get sucked into the track, and it's got this calmness to it where it almost feels like, I don't know, I feel like maybe the album in a little bit of a sense kind of tells out the story of, I guess, dating. Like, it starts off in this super casual, everything's like whatever, it's super superficial, like this is when you first meet people and there's not a super connection yet. And I do think that this song flows into the next one, and that it's almost like first you meet the person and everybody's feeling away. And so I get this a 4.25. I feel like you gotta listen to this whole project as a whole because it really works better. It flows right into the second song on this album, which is called Hire Me. This beat is cool. It's got like this weird composition to it that makes it like, it sounds similar to the last one in terms of the spaciness that flows through it and kind of gives it that ethereal feeling still. But the composition is done in a way where it doesn't really sound like anything but like this song. Like, or maybe you've heard some shit that's similar to it, but for me, it doesn't like immediately make me think of something else. It's just kind of a really cool vibe that it has going on. And I think that this follows up the last one. So the last one's whatever. You meet a new person, and here you got like Hire Me. And in this track, stuck in amazement, I got high esteem. I sent him a message, made him flatter me. Working him so much, he should hire me. Yeah, he should hire me. And you get the sense that she has a high value of herself. This guy understands her value, as was established in the last track or whatever, or at least presented in that way. And now, like, dude's coming on over. She's like, yo, you down? You want to go? He comes on over. He does a very good job putting in serious amounts of work to please this lady. And because he's putting in all that work, should hire him. He should hire me. I don't know exactly how that works, but I guess that makes sense because somebody's going to be a boss in a situation without that work. I don't really get that line in terms of the word choice, but I get the granular pun. I have been accused of taking things too literally and reading too much into the lyrics, but that's what I do here. I feel like those are the only people who really care about watching my shit, or they're the ones who want to go that deep into questioning the specifics of the language and the grammar employed. But I still enjoy the overall flow of this, man. Down in his soul, got him begging, please. Even if I go missing, he gon' go. Maybe that's the God in me. And I feel like, you don't often hear I don't hear a lot of women describing themselves with the God language like that. Typically, I've heard dudes do it or whatever. I've seen women be like, goddess in me. And I think it's really powerful to just take the notion and like almost the God in me, making it like a feminine thing, making it like what is enthralling and attractive to her, and how he is so committed, I like the verses. They got like a quicker flow to them, and I really enjoyed it more. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to like a faster flow, it does interest me. It catches my attention a little more. You know, I don't play that. Speak up when you say my name. Give me all your weight. You don't gotta say that. Here you go with all your games. Just gotta get your way. Put you in that. Just because we go way back, it seemed like a phase. Can you lean your head back? Won't take your shit again while I take my place. And you get the sense that like she's trying to like subdue him and his like maybe lesser qualities or an argumentative side to him or something that wants to take control. And she's like, no, I'm in charge here. This is what's going on. And you better like play ball and you better cooperate and run through it. And I like the power again that she brings to the table in this. Finger the dough and my bread long. That's funny because get it? You finger the dough and you finger the lady. Sneaking and geeking, let's go to the moon. And you know, it's just got like this idea. I picture them in like that early stage where it's always in the nighttime and you coming over at 11 and it's just fucking fun and everybody's having a real good time. And you know, she really enjoys it. And I really like the fact that it's almost like she takes pleasure in enjoying this new situation, and it doesn't come off like in any of the negative connotations you might hear online these days. It just sounds like what it's like for a lady who meets a dude, or maybe more than one, who has this particular plan. She has needs. She wants to get it done. This guy serves the role. It's exciting. He respects her. He plays the game right. And I think, again, it's so cool to hear this other perspective that we're not often getting. Like, it's always such a blah, blah, blah. I got the money. The girl's down for it. Blah, blah, blah on the guy's side. Here it's like, yo, I like the way that guy works it. Come on over. Treat me proper, do it right, you know. And she's like, this feeling the world and the world mine. So he's giving her the best feeling, and it just makes her feel like she's on top of shit. It almost like the excellent intercoursing makes her high and elevates both her self-esteem and her mood. Like, I suppose when you're getting worshipped and shit, treated in the way where somebody is almost making you a deity in their world, it's got to do a positive on your self-esteem. I thought it was a good song. I liked it better than the last one just a little bit more, mostly because it was a little quicker paced and a little bit more fun to me. So I gave it a 4.35. And then in the third track, we move into Ackin Funny. I think this one is cool because it changes the tone a little bit. It's almost like she wants to take him out. She, seems to be really enamored. She wants to kiss and hold him. But he seems to pout and have these negative moments when he's feeling sad, or maybe he gets almost passive aggressive when it's time to go, or he gets to these vibes or these negative energies where he talks some shit. Like, you've been on my mind. Why you always gotta pout when I leave you lonely? Then you gotta run your mouth. Now I gotta kick you out. Woo bop da bam boom pow. I really, really enjoyed the way she says that. But like, it's got this smote out like confidence. Like, it's almost like they've been dating for a minute, and then maybe she's trying to have a life, or she has a moment she can't come over, and dude's kind of acting in such a way where it's passive aggressive and petty, and it's just unattractive, and it's just not sexy to her. And it's like, fuck, all I want is that good shit we was just talking about in the last thing, and now you've been acting funny on me. You've been kind of being weird. The situation's not right. I'm not thrilled with it. I love the way she kind of whisper raps out the second verse, and I can tell you there are a few lines in here where even on Genius there's like question marks, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna be helpful, I'm gonna figure out some question marks, and I did. I got a couple of them, but I listened to some parts of this like 5 times in a row, could not for the life of me figure out what the fuck she's saying, but I really still enjoyed the vibe a bit, because she goes, boy, I know your style, first you stay a while, creeping creaking like a mouse, pinching pennies, you too proud. Oh, man, you just get like this whole like sense of this personality. Like, the guy's coming in, he's maybe like sneaking around, things maybe not be so honest, not so up on up. It's like, like a mouse would be. It's an interesting way to put it. Pinching pennies, you too proud. Like, not maybe putting enough money into the right things, or maybe being cheap because you're too proud to ask for help or whatever. You be in denial, you look at me like, wow, and then it's question marks and I have no idea what she says, but I still get the sense that like it's almost trouble in paradise. she isn't thrilled with like all aspects of this personality. It does flow into like, so you miss me now when you get so loud, do you hear them sounds coming out your mouth, you can't have control, hold the words then just unload, give a rise then watch my tone, open my eyes and kiss me slow. It's almost like, or maybe like in the moment she just wants him to be like, look, appreciate the time we have together and behave in the kind of way that works towards the sexy and the fun, and maybe stop trying to control the situation or stop trying to be so negative with it. And maybe I'm just guessing a little bit because it isn't a perspective that I fully have. It's just cool to like, again, see the other side of it. And then it just kind of ends out a little bit, and there's a phone call at the end of this song where it's like it's a call about how people lack empathy, and then there's like specifically for your friends to say they care about you and then not show up. That's deep or that's mean. I wasn't sure, and so it kind of ends out this song where maybe, you know, like, well, it ends it out kind of discussing after this tone of maybe in the relationship to make it more granular, where like not everyone's reliable, or maybe people don't apply empathy to understand how it feels when they cancel on you, or when they don't maybe live up to the expectations of what you're looking for in a moment. And this is something I've been thinking about a whole lot in my own personal life, because everybody goes into their own interactions with people and everybody kind of expects something out of it. In this case, it's like she wants this sexual fun situation, so when he's getting negative energies or when he's not maybe behaving in a way that's conducive to that, it's kind of showing a lack of empathy or understanding into what she wants out of the situation. But then to make it more granular with that phone call at the end, where it shows how maybe your friends are like that too, or how people in general these days don't really have a lot of empathy, it got me thinking, you know, the number of times where I made plans with people and then, you know, they don't really remember that they're already booked or stuff, and then you try to like live up to it. And overall, and I'm guilty of doing the same thing, of like not living up to my obligations with other people, especially in social settings, where we all just kind of forget that maybe by canceling there's a certain negative tone that the other person's going to feel like they're not worthy of your time, or if you do go and chill and maybe it doesn't have the best situation. Maybe you guys just on both ends aren't applying any empathy to understand what the other person's hoping for in the moment. Either way, I got my brain thinking about that kind of shit with a little phone call. I like the song a lot. It's short. It's only 2 minutes and 16, but I like the more rappy or fun tone to it, and I give it a 4.35 on 5. The next song on this album is called Anytime. So I feel like this kind of explores more the actually getting in and having a good time part of the situation. And maybe once you've gotten past the acting funny part, you've established some parameters of stuff, and you know, you're kind of responding. Like, you don't have to feel bad for me. You don't have to decide to answer, babe. Anyway, give it all up for me. I know you like a dancer, babe. And then it just kind of like flows in with the hook again. And you just like, you get the sense where it's like, you don't have to care about what's going on my end. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Either way, I know you like what I'm offering on the table. Let's have a good time. Let's make it happen, you know? You ain't got to ask because you know I'm on the way. Got my hands behind my waist. Now my legs giving way. We gonna have to crash if you keep trying to play. Just put me on my ass so you could get a taste. And it has like this seductive tone, like, listen, this is what I want. And she's getting real to the point with the situation. And the way she's singing it is quite attractive to listen to. It's got this very sexy, like, fun, like it's about to go down is the vibe that you're getting off this song right away. And I really enjoy the way she sings it. The music has kind of got this slower tone to it, but it's really cool. And this track also, just in case I don't forget to bring it up, features Kehlani, and also is produced by ROMderful. I don't know if ROMderful sings on this in any way, but the track is produced by them. And then the way she just kind of raps out this verse where it's like, yeah, you ready for it? And like, I've got that. He really wants me, the chop on your head, then I'm leaving your mind blowing, and you want to menage with him, me and my clone. Nickname is Lola. How can we make it fly low? Grip game, a choker, not beat it, no fly low. I'ma lose my mind on it. Can I take my time on it? I'ma stop breathing and call me a psycho. And she just has like this energy that she's putting off where it's like, it's time to go down. She wants to go and have a more freakier experience. Like, you can tell she's a little bit on the open-minded side in the best possible way, and wants to make sure that like you understand the tone of what she's going for. But there's also like this degree of like almost intimacy and like consumption. Like, she wants this absolute kind of vibe and pleasure with it, you know? Now I finger in the key, pretty please maestro. Need a wheelchair when I leave, no need for light strokes. Pay all these bitches dust like they came from Cairo. His head spinning, check the engine, let me ride slow. And she's painting out the picture of some of the things that are gonna happen after they proceed to meet, or like what she actually wants to happen when you're not acting funny and when you're doing things all properly. You know, don't act shy. Like she's gonna ride in reverse cowgirl, I believe. And it's like, I don't know if that's in this song, but either way, it just sounds, oh no, that was Kehlani's part. Inches to my waist, tickle your face when I'm grinding it, cowgirl in reverse, make it a hearse, I'll ride or die on it. And in general, that's the vibe that we're getting from these ladies. They both deliver it with such excellence in how they're coming to it. I don't know if it's all that unique, but because I don't listen to a lot of ladies describing what they want to do to men in music, which I guess is kind of something I never really thought about. Why? Maybe this is a more fun genre to get into. But like, it sounded really passionate and really like, this is what a woman kind of wants, to feel a certain way with it and the vibe that it's getting off. And it's such a different tone than like the other side when the dudes is coming in, where it just feels almost transactional and it's like, yo, I'm gonna come in, bust my nut, blah blah blah, we're out of here. And on this side it's almost experiential, where like she wants this to be like going to a movie, whereas when guys make it sound, it's like watching a 20-minute sitcom episode. And I think that is a pretty crazy and interesting tone shift that we're getting on this song. I don't have a lot more to say about it because it really just kind of makes you want to have a good time with these ladies. And if you do have the opportunity to do so, you should probably appreciate it, I guess. I thought it sounded wonderful to listen to, really well produced, and I gave it a 4.5 on 5. I'm really not sure what else to comment on it, but I'm certain this song will help some folk have a good time, if you catch my drift. And then I guess when you're done having a good time anytime, it is break time.
Broken down, you shitting on people with small amounts.
I felt like this one had like a more flashy tone to it in the way she's delivering her lines and the overall, like, it almost feels like this beat's a little more on the upbeat side of things. Like, it almost like my brain, maybe because it was trying to create a story with it, it was like you were done and then she left the room and it's like she realizes, you know what? This guy might not be the one, but I'm in the power position. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And it's the kind of tone I got off of this song. Like, manifest the place, make something shake. I get it plenty of ways. Pull up, boys, hold my weight. Kick back, got the sweetest days. Hold up, wait, do I play? I don't know. Fuck up my face. And it's like, she seems like she's so in control of the situation. Like, guys are coming around it, whatever, they might be hitting on her. She knows her value. She knows that people want her, and she's just like, I don't know, don't waste my fucking time. Like, get out of here. Like, it just feels like she's going with the flow of the situation and not worrying too much about it. I'm going bless and mercy, and after I kill, I'm not showing her mercy. She want to show me a peek. Okay, I got little mama going wave on her feet. I got the world at my feet and moving mountains, but not an inch, but with speech. I don't know. I guess she feels powerful in the way that she commands the essence, and the way she's rapping on this and like singing or whatever is really strong. And like, again, like, it comes off real flossy. I have a lot more to like add to it because I don't find it the most depth per se of what we got on this album, but it just feels like a fun, airy song that is enjoyable. Like, you're gonna hear me now, tell them my spaz, that's what I whatever. No cosign, not a clown, and they amass but going through sinners now. I'm gonna throw up the cash, watch them spin around, not talking about spinners, they've been around. I'm building up peoples that's broken down, you shitting on people with small amounts. And yeah, it almost sounds like another I'm real, I'm independent, I'm doing what I gotta do, my intentions and integrity are in the right thing, you and your folk are not. And I don't know, maybe this is one of the more like standard thematic songs on this. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe she's trying to showcase that she applies empathy, whereas others are really just about taking from other people. I'm not really that sure, which I know I probably shouldn't be, spending so much time talking about things I don't know what the fuck it is, but whatever. I just let the Z see my trade. It's gonna be mine. I don't chat to space, no dossier on my break time. Bitch, I'm with my dogs, make something shake. You should be always talk to God every day. She stay right with the main line. And yeah, it just feels like she's cruising around. Almost picture on a night out with her peoples. She's got things going in her way, and she's focused and committed on a bigger picture, and she talks to God and personifies her as a woman, and that she keeps connected. It's like her spirit's right, which I really respect. I don't know, the second verse again felt real flossy, like, some guys hitting her up, wants to go for it, and all these dudes who are drunk and can't really get it up or do it proper, or maybe not good enough for her. She's not pressed for numbers or record. She wants like proper quality things. And it's again flowing into the sense of she knows her value and worth, and it's not just about fucking just anybody. It's about getting that experience shit that we've gotten on it. So maybe after going through a few guys, things weren't going right. Maybe the whole situation isn't flowing in her little dating world, so she's taking a little break from it all to reevaluate and have some fun, and then looking for the person who, if could hold the smoke, if they want the smoke, as she pulls out Lone's better hold if you're asking for smoke, and that's how she ends up the second verse. I do find that the bridge of this song, where she's like, I float on that bass line, vibrating from my waist, Henny straight, wanna taste mine. Little baby gonna call me up, you on FaceTime. I tippy-toed out to party, mommy gonna make time. And it's almost like at the end now, she's floating around, she's having a great time, maybe all the other guys in the past or whatever, but this main person hits her up and lets her know, like, yo, I'm interested. I got it going. I'm the one that you want. And she's like, all right, I agree. I'm going to make time for that. And I like that. The way she sings that bridge, it might have been my favorite part of this song. Like, it elevates it to that next level status, as opposed to maybe coming off a little more standard as the rest did. I didn't feel like this one had as much distinction as maybe a couple of the others on this project, but it was still super great to listen to. And I give it a 4.25 on 5. Anyway, the next track on this project is called Lifelines. I thought this one was cool because, we bring in a dude, and I believe that's DUCKWRTH is the one singing. And you kind of, like, having been in a relationship for a while now, there's certain things I can relate to, and that's like how this hook goes. I can't read your damn mind, but when I hold your hand, I can feel your lifelines, but I can't read your mind. Damn. And it's like, you don't necessarily know what the other person's thinking or what's bothering them, but like there's other cues, like if you hold their hand or you look at them, whatever, you can sense maybe something's off, or you can kind of see into their soul and their perceive like what they're feeling in a more granular sense. But even if you don't necessarily know what that person is feeling specifically. And I think this song is meant to kind of look at empathy between two people. You got Jean in the first one. She don't love nobody, still care, your body is insane. He just wants my body. I don't date no zombie, not my lane. Can't wait in your lobby, fucking up ain't no hobby, up your game. If you see somebody, not just anybody, don't say names. So it's almost like we've moved past that point where maybe this guy that was earlier on, that was maybe acting funny, is there, and she's just like, look, that, like, we don't love each other per se. This is whatever. This is just fucking, but I'm not really interested in that. I want more. I want to make this a proper situation. But I really like that fucking ain't no hobby, up your game line, because it's like, listen, it's weak shit to just be like, let's go fuck. Let's just be friends with benefits, blah, blah, blah. Like, you want to fuck this. You want to have all those great experiences. You want to enjoy this. Then you got to actually be a person in this relationship. You got to actually bring it in. She doesn't want to date no zombie, some person who doesn't contribute anything, who's not just like essentially a dick or whatever. If you see somebody, not just anybody, don't say names. I got to let go of rage. If I want to turn that page loving me down, it's like, I get the sense maybe they're seeing other people and they're not really certain of their status at this point, but she maybe is feeling frustrated about it. In the sense that maybe they're not being super honest with each other in how they're feeling towards each other. She wants to take it maybe from fuck friends into something more serious. I want to sing your name, loving the way you taste. The blessing comes down, no praise. And then it flows into the chorus. And I kind of like the verse because it sounds so like uncertain and almost frustrated. Like you can tell certain things, but you can't actually tell what this person feels towards you in the way that you'd want. And then he responds, like, tell me what's on your mind, stressing you this evening. I'm not a palm reader, yeah. Which is a cool play on the sense that he can't read your lifelines, even if she can. And I don't know, not no telepathy, so tell me what you're stressing. You ain't got to tell me everything, but if you don't tell me nothing, shorty, I ain't singing anything. So it's kind of like, well, you might be feeling a certain way. I can recognize that, I understand it, but you have to express what's going on in your mind. You have to tell me what's going on, because I can't guess, I can't figure it out. And if you want me to start talking or saying anything, you better start talking. And you gonna tell your best friend everything. Apparently that's that type of shit that bring black folk down. Shit, or even if your skin ain't brown, quit. Don't be all petty, Betty, stuck in your ways like peanut butter without no jelly. And that was interesting, because it's like, well, what if I do talk, you're just going to tell your friend, and then this is all that shit, and we're just going to slander each other and blah, 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 and it's maybe not the best situation. So instead of fronting like you all hard or whatever, why don't you just, let me know what's going on so we can have like a more honest conversation. You on that conscious shit trying to put me in a trance. You said you can't read my mind, shit. So it's almost like this is what each person is feeling as they're like sitting there staring at each other, and I feel like they're not really talking in that moment. So I thought it was like a cool song, as you got like the behind the scenes of like a couple sitting there. Then there's like this little outro where like they kind of describe how they can feel towards each other. Like something got you off in your life, somebody got at you wrong, there's some other shit going on that I don't see. You see what I'm saying? Like I see what you're saying and I feel you. And then she's like, I feel like, matter of fact, I agree with you. Matter of fact, nah, I agree with you too, but that's what I'm saying, I agree with you. So it's kind of interesting how it's almost like they're agreeing with each other, but I don't know 100% that they're communicating so well. Maybe they are. But either way, he's recognizing that something in her world's kind of off, and he's relating to the fact that something's off, and he recognizes it. But we find out that like it's not about him. He just recognizes that there's something else there, and he wants to understand it better. And then she's like, I feel like what you're describing is literally empathy, like being empathetic instead of reacting or taking something personal when somebody be on some bogus shit to you. Like, damn, you probably going through some shit. You probably know what I'm saying. You got something going on in your life. And then he's like, nah, because that's where it stands from. Like, that's where that, because you know exactly how you feel when you exactly. So it's kind of describing empathy here, where when people are having a bad day, just to kind of break it down, you can take it a bad way, or you can be like, yo, I recognize that I didn't do anything to make you feel this kind of bad way, so why don't you tell me what's making you upset so that we can be on the same team, because maybe otherwise being passive aggressive or whatever is not very helpful. So in a sense, it's kind of like by having this empathy or this person to talk to and to be open up with is the lifeline. That's pretty fucking dope. I get this song a 4.25 on 5. I really enjoyed listening to it. It's not 100% my cup of tea, but I thought it was a really cool look at empathy and how it can play out, and how these two people can be like maybe trying to understand how the other one feels. And then it ends up with the last track on this project called Speakerphone. I don't 100% get what this track is about, but if I were to guess, because it's closing off the album, it's like after they had their little chat or whatever, it feels like he's playing her wrong after that. Like, or in the story, she is now at a point where she's trying to get a hold of this person, and they're maybe not available based on like the phone call at the end, because like there's a phone call at the end of the song where it's like, this is how the album ends. I know you saw me fucking call you, etc. You declined it. Make sure you put this on speakerphone when you play it back, so this girl and guy in the front your car can hear it too, and how you're playing got me all fucked up. So you get the sense that like she's not happy when she's ending the album like that. But as I go through this track, like there's this language like, pray for my enemies, I end up drinking this Hennessy, I x-rayed through all the jealousy, my pastor tell me to smoke no weed. So maybe because this guy's not available or committing or whatever, she's feeling almost anger and rage because she wants this person she's feeling toyed with. And, you know, now it's about like expressing that like, yo, you fucked up. You better at least own your shit, you know? In the chorus or pre-chorus, kill 'em all, kill 'em all, kill 'em all. You gotta kill 'em all, say no more, say no more. You don't gotta say no more. So it's like, this aggressive feeling of like, but she's singing it like super fucking softly and super like fucking calm and subdued. Like, this is the quiet rage that's distilling deep down inside of her, and she's just got to express it and get it out, you know. Turn the lights. How do I know if you seeing wrong? I know you planning to tell a lie. I wear my power. You see it on. How can I sacrifice? They're never planning on staying long. And that got me thinking, right? Like, so if she's going through maybe a series of people and it's this dating cycle over and over again, and any time it looks like it's going to get serious, instead of actually bridging that gap, when it gets to the point of having to sacrifice her to create some shit, if they're always going to dip, if they're always going to maybe bounce out and make her feel this kind of jealousy, this kind of unhappiness that this person's not giving her their time, well, then she's not going to fucking waste anything. And I guess that's where we're at with things, where maybe there's a lot of people out there who don't feel the desire to put any sacrifice into relationships because they don't feel that they're ever going to last. I know to hear what I'm saying, though, you better put it on speakerphone. And that's like the last line, which I thought was kind of clever because, you know, other people can relate to this. And in the more direct sense, the people in your world, maybe in this car or whoever this guy is with, is like able to understand the game that he's playing. So put it on speakerphone, own your shit, but also like, yo, play this shit back because what I'm saying is truth. Everybody relate and put the message out. So I thought that was pretty cool. In the second verse, you kind of picture her trying to like escape and get out of like the bad situation, and she's picturing the roadway, letting people know she's not a throwaway. She's gonna dip and go away if she's not like treated right, you know. She wants a love like it's poetry, and he got a love that I'm a force, little black book like my culture, and when I'm touched like this, feel you like my soulmate. So she's establishing the standards of what she expects out of the relationship and what she wants, and if it's not going to end up being that and it's not going to be proper, you flow into, if it's not what I need, compliment space. Sometimes all I see is gray. Cloud fill my gaze. Don't need you pushing me away. Fill me up, drain. You know that's why I keep gates. So it's like, because this person isn't necessarily engaging properly and they're pushing them away and they're creating this distance and this gap between them, she has to put her guard up, and she ends up feeling in the way that she's describing in this song, and then just ends it with that phone call like, fuck out of here, I'm done with you. That's at least how I took it. And I gave the song 4.25. I thought it was, again, really cool to listen to. Maybe not 100% like my cup of tea, but when I got past my preferences and I just listened to how well produced it all was, it sounded really beautiful. Like, for this whole project as a whole, it is a gorgeous experience. She sings wonderfully, and she has such flair and style where she can change it up song over song, so you really get a full sense of her talents. The beats change as well, which is diverse, because when you got 7 songs, you can either make it all sound the same or you can kind of make it feel alive. I feel like the album kind of takes you through a relationship sort of maybe something problematic or something that's almost lacking the empathy that she's looking for. And this album is almost like a CV or a mission statement of what her desires of a partner and the kind of commitment and connection that needs to be there to give her the fulfilling experiences she wants out of it. But it definitely sounds like she's the type of person that if you are able to like keep up with, it would be like an excellent experience. I enjoyed the soulful R&B like sounds, but it's not 100% my cup of tea. But all things considered, I could see myself listening to this in the right environment, because it has like, it's the kind of thing where if you have a girl, let's say, you're gonna want to dance with her to it because it's got that vibe to it. Or if it does have that sound where if you're maybe on a date or something, you want to play that music. I don't know, it just makes me feel like it's a romantic-y kind of sound to it. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I look forward to seeing what you have to say in the comments, and if you want to leave a comment and tell me about your experiences, I'll be happy to chat with you about it, and I'll try my best to do a little stronger next time. I feel like this was out of my comfort zone. It was a little more challenging to understand what was going on. My empathy game may not have been on point, but I did give the album a 4.31 on 5. I thought it was a cool experience, all things considered, considering it's not like what I would normally go to in music. And at first I thought I might be a little bored or something, but no, I thought this was so pleasant to a point where I could just see myself throwing it on while I'm working because it's so easy to listen to. If you do like this and you want to engage, feel free to hit that subscribe button and we can get more reviews that way. You can hit dislike button if you didn't tell YouTube you thought this was cool. Otherwise, special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prada, DJ Black Hurricane, Linda Williams, and Jonathan Barnes. They support what we do. They helped us get a camera. They get to tell us what albums we review. And if you want to support us too, for $1 or more a month, you can help us get to a much better place with this channel. Yeah, so let me know what you think. I make music too. You can check that out on this channel. And yeah, look forward to seeing you next time.